Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is part 1 of the winter special and it's titled Dialga Palkia, the Space-time Cataclysm, and in this two-parter we go into parallel universes to try and figure out what's going on in the Sinnoh region right now. What's causing dimensional rifts to open? Let's find out. This is kind of a crazy episode of Pokemon. This episode has accidental kidnapping, more intentional kidnapping, as well as de-evolution and Pokemon turning back into eggs. Dawn loses her Piplup at the beginning of the episode when her Piplup gets picked up by someone who looks just like her, except she has blue instead of red, and walks through what looks like a portal with the Piplup, something they refer to as a gate throughout the episode. So Ash, Goh, and even Chloe come to the Sinnoh region to investigate not only Dawn's Pokemon's disappearance, but also a lot of other strange disappearances going on in the Sinnoh region. However, before they're able to investigate, an alternate Team Rocket comes out of the same type of gate that Dawn lost her Pokemon to, and managed to kidnap both Lucario and Inteleon, two of our hero's stronger Pokemon. From the beginning of the episode, where we see them in the middle of the Dialga and Palkia fight in red chains causing all these holes to appear, as well as their demeanor throughout the episode, we can tell that this Team Rocket is much more serious and much more successful at their goal of kidnapping Pokemon. As they're heading back to their world after capturing Lucario and Inteleon, Goh and Dawn manage to jump in the gate to try to follow them, taking them to a parallel universe. They go to Dawn's house in this parallel world for answers for not only the kidnapping, but also why this world suspiciously lacks flowers as well as Pokemon. Once back in her room, they re-meet the Dawn from this world who took the main world's Piplup. The alternate Dawn apologizes and explains that Pokemon in her world are slowly devolving, forgetting moves, and even turning back into eggs. She just took the Piplup she saw because it reminded her of her Piplup, one of those Pokemon that has turned back into an egg. And she also tells our heroes that she feels selfish because they brought those Pokemon into the world, which means that now their Pokemon are going to start experiencing that. So Goh and Dawn try to figure out what to do next. Meanwhile, in the main world, Ash and Chloe are also trying to figure out what is causing this and how they might be able to get to that gate, so they head to the Canalave Library to find out more about Palkia, which, by the way, here the anime makes it look like it's just a hop, skip, and a jump away, but both in the game and in the anime prior, Canalave City is really far from Sanjum Town, the place they're currently at. I just kind of found that to be hilarious. While there, they come across Cynthia, who's also trying to figure out why these gates are opening in the Sinnoh region. She explains Dialga and Palkia to our heroes, and she even calls Arceus God here, which I don't think the English dub or any English material has ever done, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think that they would want any sort of religious subtext, so I don't think they've ever called Arceus a god, but here she specifically used the word kami, which is like Japanese for like a higher being, so I found that to be pretty interesting. Anyways, as they're heading out of the library, the same Team Rocket from before come through a nearby gate to try to kidnap more Pokemon. This time, Cynthia is joining Ash to battle them. However, as they try to battle, both Pikachu and Garchomp can't use their moves, not allowing them to fight back. The alternate Jessie makes a comment about how this is now starting to affect their world. What did she mean by that? Was she talking about Pokemon forgetting moves, or them just not being able to do any Pokemon moves? Because in the alternate world, the alternate Dawn talked about how Pokemon began forgetting their move. I wonder if that's what happened in this case, or was it just something else? I hope we do get an answer to this next episode, and this isn't just something that's used to send Ash and Chloe to the alternate dimension, which they do go to. The episode ends with Ash finding his equivalent in the alternate world. So, while the episode itself doesn't dwell on it, the things that happen in this episode are just kind of dark. Kidnapping due to missing one's Pokemon, Pokemon just getting stolen left and right in the Sinnoh region, flowers not blooming in this alternate world, Pokemon forgetting their moves, devolving, and even turning back into eggs, which is horrifying if you think about it. My only gripe with this episode, and the thing I really didn't like, is the show trying to kind of justify alternate Dawn here taking Piplup. She says she wanted to return it as soon as she saw Dawn, but she couldn't because the gate closed. However, not only did she know the consequences of doing so, which is when she brought Piplup back in, it would also start forgetting moves and turning into eggs, She did it just out of instinct and really didn't think about it. Her apology to me just feels a bit shallow because of that. And the show tries to rectify it by having Dawn completely accept her apology and even apologize herself. But I don't know. The main world Dawn didn't do anything wrong, so what is she apologizing for? I don't know, maybe I'm just being too harsh to this alternate world Dawn, but I just didn't like the way that entire section was handled. Speaking of alternate Dawn, let's talk about her. This Dawn is definitely way more timid than the main world Dawn, and not only that, but she chose to become a trainer instead of doing contests. And on top of that, the show also implies that she only came in second place in the Sinnoh region final because her Piplup started forgetting moves in the middle of her final battle. The show doesn't explicitly say that, but when she's talking about Pokemon forgetting moves, the same picture that we see in her bedroom is the one that they show in flashback, which implies that's when it happened. So this means that this is an extremely strong Dawn. And speaking of extremely strong, let's talk about Team Rocket. There's not much to talk about here in terms of their personality, mainly because besides capturing Pokemon, they have none. But one thing that the show implies here is that they were somehow able to get the red chain and blue chain to capture Dialga and Palkia. But not only that, they're the ones causing the fights to create the rifts whenever they want. And if that's the case, holy crap, they're strong. It took Team Galactic an entire army to do it, but these 4 guys are doing it by themselves. That is insane. Overall though, this is a pretty good episode. It wasn't super action heavy. We really only got the one action bit at the end, and no, the quick Team Rocket dispatch does not count. However, the episode did exposition really well. It spread out all the relevant information amongst different parties to allow everyone to get their own moments in the episode. This is really about the next episode, but I want to bring it up here too. It looks like in the next episode we're also going to get an alternate Chloe as well as an alternate Ash. Hopefully the story doesn't get too crammed with too many characters, because I felt like this episode did a fantastic job of giving all the characters here equal screen time. The pacing was nice, the story was well structured, and the music was great as always. I really hope they can end this 2-parter out with a bang, but as for this episode, I'd say it's an Ultra Ball episode. The next episode is the finale for this 2-parter, which is really disappointing as I was hoping this would extend out a bit more, but regardless, I'm interested to see how this all wraps up. But anyways, that is it for my review of episode 89 of The Journey's Anime. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on this episode. You can follow me on Twitter at TheRealPDGaming, and that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.